Today we discussed how to download fonts on our computers. So we're going to practice it. Now, depending the blocking on like the Wi-Fi for the school, some of the websites I've given you in your Google Classroom may not allow you to go. I believe that Google Fonts should be fine. So we're going to practice with the Google Fonts, but all the websites I've given you have the opportunity to download and install a font. Now, you guys are on PCs, so it's going to look a little different, but overall, a lot of the technique is the same. I would highly recommend that you have Illustrator closed before you start, as loading the fonts works better when your program is closed. So, when you go to websites like this, you can search different types of fonts, popularities, like properties if you want scripts or slants. We are doing birthday invitations, so think about how you would want your name and your birth date to look. I think I want a nice script, so I'm going to take a minute or two and find a font I really like. Okay, I like this font called Lobster, so I'm going to click on it. In this website, it says download family up here. Family just means fonts that have multiple versions, like bold and stuff. Most websites you're going to use have an option to download. Okay, when you download fonts, especially when they come with more than one, they're going to come in a zipped file. That just means compressed. Most of the time, you can double click on your file and your computer will open it, and your Finder might look different, but basically, it'll have the font in a folder. Okay, fonts show up as .otf or .ttf. They're just file types. Now, you want to right click and hit open. I'm gonna hit open with FontBook because that's the program that's used here. But there should be a button in your PCs that you can hit install on. Okay, give it a few seconds to load. Now what you should be able to do is open up your Illustrator. Much better if you download your font first and then open up Illustrator. So you see I've given you two options for your birthday invitation. You can use either one and you're going to edit it quite a bit. So if you don't love the colors, that's okay. So let's say I like the first option. I'm just going to select it all, move it down. They're all ungrouped for you. I'm going to make mine a little larger. Your job is to use the font you downloaded to write your name and your birth date. So this invitation says you're invited to, so I would write my name. I'm going to take my type tool, write out my name, I'm going to highlight it, and go and find the font I downloaded. Now, if you remember the name, I should be able to pop it and start typing it. I have it here. And I'm going to take a few minutes and like set this the way I think it would look the best in this invitation. Now, what you want to do is use a lot of the settings that have been taught to you, like the leading, the tracking, the kerning, to make your name look like it belongs there. And then after I write my name, I'm going to write my birth date as well. Okay. Now, the last thing you're going to do once you put your name and date and change the font, you're going to change the color. I don't want yours to look like mine. I want you to choose your own color scheme. I'm going to remind you that it really helps to use the color guide. So I'm going to go to Window Guide, Color Guide. I just think it's helpful. And I'm going to pick my favorite color to start with. And now this is going to change to give me like a lot of pretty options. So I'm just going to go and start holding Shift and coloring things so that it matches this color scheme. I'm going to speed up this part, but this is where you're going to spend most of the time, really thinking about your color choices. Okay, so once I'm done coloring it, my personal taste for color, and I've written my name and my birthday, I will have to create outlines on this, right? Because I don't know who has this font. So last thing I'm going to do is select my type, go up to Type, Create Outlines. Do the same thing on my birthday. Type, Create Outlines. And notice that I swapped to my selection tool, not my type tool to do that. Now when the file is sent to me, I can actually see what you've designed. Make this really your own and how you would want your birthday invite to look. Good luck.